Today, we are going to take an absolutely incredible journey through one of the most amazing systems on the entire planet, your own body. We're going to follow just one bite of food and see how it gets transformed into the very energy that's powering your brain right now. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You eat something and then, well, what? It just kind of disappears into this black box and, like magic, becomes you. Well, today we're prying that box wide open to see the amazing factory that's running inside you 24/7. Okay, so our journey starts with a bang. Your stomach is not just some quiet little pouch. Oh no, it's an active, churning chemical reactor. Its whole job is to mash up your food, sterilize it with acid, and start the demolition process. This is step one, and it is powerful. And that brings us to the body's very own disassembly line. And trust me, this is no chaotic mess. This is a super sophisticated, highly coordinated process where every single station has one specific job: break food down into its most basic, usable parts. You see, this whole thing is all about teamwork. First up, the stomach churns everything into a paste called chyme, using acid and an enzyme called pepsin to get a head start on proteins. Then, as that acidic gunk moves along, the pancreas jumps in, releasing a whole cocktail of enzymes for everything else, plus bicarbonate to cool down that acid. At the same time, the liver sends in bile, and you can literally think of bile as dish soap for fats. It breaks up big blobs of fat into tiny little droplets so the enzymes can get to work. It is a perfectly timed three-organ attack. So, all that churning and all that chemical breakdown, it was all leading up to this one critical moment: absorption. This is it. This is the border crossing, where those tiny nutrients finally leave the digestive system and get onto your body's internal superhighway. Now, what's really cool here is that not everybody takes the same road. Sugars and proteins, they get an express pass, absorbed right into your bloodstream. But fats, they're different. They take a scenic route, first entering the lymphatic system, which is this whole other network in your body, before they eventually get dropped off in the blood. It's just a really clever way to handle these different kinds of molecules. All right, so the nutrients have crossed the border. They're officially in the system. Now the real magic begins. We're about to switch from breaking food down to using those tiny little pieces to power up every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. You know, your body is incredibly smart. It wastes absolutely nothing. So any of that glucose, that sugar, that you don't need for energy right this second, it doesn't get thrown out. Nope, it gets cleverly packaged up into something called glycogen and then stored in your liver and muscles. You can think of it like your body's own rechargeable power bank, just waiting to give you a quick energy boost whenever you need it. So, when it comes to energy, what does your body really, truly want? Well, it can use fats and proteins if it has to, but it has a clear favorite, by a landslide: carbohydrates, which break down into glucose, are the #1 go-to fuel. They are the premium, high-octane gasoline for your body's engine. But look, this whole incredible dance of digestion and energy use, it doesn't just happen by accident. The whole thing is managed by a super sophisticated communication network called the endocrine system. This is the command center, sending out little hormone messages to make sure the entire operation runs like clockwork. And sitting right at the top of this command structure is the pituitary gland. Its nickname is the master gland, and for a very good reason. It gets its orders straight from the hypothalamus in your brain, and then it turns around and tells all the other glands what to do. It is basically the body's ultimate middle manager. So let's meet the key players on this management team. You've got the pituitary, our master gland in charge. Then you have the thyroid, which is kind of like your body's thermostat. It sets your overall metabolism. And then there's the pancreas, a true specialist with one of the most important jobs of all: managing your blood sugar. Let's just zoom in on the pancreas for a second, because what it does is so critical. It is constantly performing this delicate high-wire balancing act to keep your blood sugar in that perfect Goldilocks zone, not too high and not too low. And it performs this amazing feat with a dynamic duo of hormones. When your blood sugar goes up after you eat, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin is like the key that unlocks your cells, letting all that sugar rush in from the blood. But if your sugar gets too low, the pancreas sends out the other guy, glucagon. Glucagon sends a message to the liver telling it to tap into those glycogen power banks and release that stored sugar back into the blood. It's this perfect push and pull system happening all the time. From that first bite of food to this complex hormonal ballet, Your body is conducting this incredible symphony every single day without you ever having to think about it. Every single part, from stomach acid to insulin, plays its role perfectly. So, knowing just how complex and elegant this whole system is, the only real question is, what kind of fuel are you going to choose for the next performance?